Alright, rules of the House of Representatives 24, Clause 2. Limitation to use official funds, limitation to use official and unofficial accounts. Except for providing paragraph B, with the members of the delegate resident of the commissioner may they maintain with the non-maintain the trust for the individual and unofficial the official office account. With funds may not be paid with the unofficial account. Except for providing so paragraph 2, member delegate resident commissioner to defray with official expense of the funds of the principal campaign committee with respect for the individual Federal Election Campaign Act of 1971 funds specified as paragraph 1 may not be able to defray with official expense for mail, other communication compensation services, the office space with the other furniture, offices of equipment, any associated information technology services, excluding handheld communication device, notwithstanding any other provision of the amount with the official expense of the allowance of the member, delegate, resident commissioner, paid to have the House recording studio, revolving fund with the telecommunications satellite, with the member, delegated, resident commissioner may accept the reimbursement, non-political entities in that amount for transmission. Chief Administrative Officer for credit official with the expense of the allowance, and this rule will determine unofficial account with the means of the account with the repository in which the funds are received with the purpose of defraying otherwise reimburse expense allowable under the section 162A with the Internal Revenue Code of 1986. Ordinary necessary for the operation of congressional office include with the new letters funded referred in section 527G Internal Revenue Code of 1986. Limitation on use of frank. A member, delegated, resident commissioner shall be mail frank mail under section 3210 Title 39 United States Code at most economic rate or postable postage practicable. For making a mass mailing, a member of the delegate resident commissioner shall be submitted with a sample description of the mail matter that involved the House Communications Standing Commission for an advisory opinion to whether the proposed mailing is in compliance with the applicable provision of law or regulations. Mass mailing otherwise frankable with a member, delegate, resident commissioner under provisions section 3210E of the Title 39 United States Code is not frankable unless the cost of the preparing and printing it is defrayed exclusively from funds made available for the appropriate actions. A member of the delegate resident commissioner may not send with a mass mailing outside of the congressional district from which elected. In the case of member, delegate, resident commissioner, mass mailing is not frankable under section 3210 Title 39 United States Code when postmarked on the date during the period described in section 3210A6A for the such title, mail matter of the type of the non-customary postmark date with which have been postmarked if and wherever the type customary postmarked applies. And the rule term mass mailing means respective session of the Congress mailing newsletters, other pieces of the mail which substantially identical as content, whether such pieces of mail deposited singly or in bulk or at the same time at a different time, total times with 500 pieces of mail in that session. Any of the unsolicited communications substantial identical content was transmitted to 500 more persons in the session. In the case of the individual communication substantial identical content disseminated with a cost exceeding the designated amount provided by the regulation of House Communications Standard Communications, except that such term does not include the mailing of matter and direct response communication with the person to whom matter is mailed with a member of the delegate, resident commissioner, with the other member of the delegates, resident commissioner, senators, or federal, state, local government officials, news release, communications, media. Prohibition on use of funds of the members not elected and succeeding Congress fund with the applicable account with the described in Clause 1K1, Rule 10, including funds for the committee expense for the restrictions, resolutions, fundings of the local currencies owned by the United States may not be available to travel with a member of the delegate, the resident commissioner, or senator after the day of the general election, which if the individual was not elected as succeeding Congress in the case of the member, delegate, resident commissioner with a not candidate in the general election after earlier of the day of such general election adjournment assigned die on the last regular session of the Congress. Rule 25, limitations outside earned income and acceptance of gifts. And that's going to be a long one.